What's up, y'all? Sorry I didn't do this video yesterday, but I'm doing it now. We're continuing on with our Eddie Murphy movies. We're doing the second 48 Hours movie, another 48 Hours. And then later, I will be reviewing The Golden Child. So I'll probably be doing that review by normal time. But, yeah. So, another 48 Hours, I remember watching a couple years ago because I didn't know there was a sequel. I assumed there was only one movie, and then I saw in like his biography. I think it was Eddie Murphy's biography on IMDb. Oh, there is a second one, and then I watched it. It's not as good. I think it's still like the dynamic between uh, Jack Cates or Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy is still pretty good. It's just not as how like on PC the first one was. Whereas this one, I just feel like it was more of like just a little more of a buddy film. The bad guys were weak, and to be fair, the bad guys in the first one weren't that great either. And that's fine. They were serviceable. So the story is these bikers are trying to kill, um, Reggie because they might recognize him. So he's hiring hitman, and while Reggie is about to get out of jail, his money that he owes Reggie is gone. And with Jack, his story is he's been trying to hunt the Iceman, but he's been seen as like a crazy um, guy, so he has to prove the Iceman is real. And basically, they're forced to work together again. And it's a fun movie. I still think it's a watchable movie. It came out in. I think the other reason it didn't work, and I get it, they had to do Beverly Hills Cop 2 first, so it made sense because this was '90 when this came out, so they figured we got to do Beverly Hills Cop first, the sequel to that, because that was his most popular movie at that time. So they figured, okay, we got to get that sequel out first, and maybe they never planned to do a sequel, and just either way, it's a serviceable movie. I would watch it. You can watch the first one and then this one back to back. It's the dynamic. If anything, what carries this movie is the dynamic between Murphy and Nolte. So like that's probably at best what keeps it. And it's a different one. Like Nolte actually respects him now. He's talking to him, not really calling him convict, not like just treating him like shit like he was before. So I do like that aspect about it. The bad guys are kind of on the weak side. So the film, but yeah, let's get started. Later tonight, I will be reviewing The Golden Child, and then tomorrow, I cannot wait. We're gonna get started on Rambo. So I'm gonna be watching First Blood. I'll probably be watching that tomorrow. I'll probably actually no, I'll probably watch that tonight, and we'll try to review it early because it's gonna be Thanksgiving. So yeah. But other than that, we'll get started on this review. So yeah, this movie opens up with the Iceman hiring somebody to kill Reggie, but then Jack Cate shows up, kind of ruins it. Then there's this big, and then this is where we learn he's in trouble because he's been seen as a crazy. He's basically, um, then we get a scene where he meets up with and because at the same time Jack is being investigated for a murder he didn't commit, and he's trying to claim it was the Iceman. So I like that aspect of the story, and like I'm gonna keep mentioning, it's a watchable movie. While this is happening, Reggie's about to be freed for completing his prison term. So Jack meets with Reggie to try to help him solve this crime. Hammond wants the money. Jack refuses. Then Jack gets punched out by Hammond, and Hammond's about to get released and go to the. While this is happening, the Iceman requests these bikers to kill Reggie. So the biker guys. Oh, that's the actual opening of the film. I forgot. These bikers like shoot two cops. Shoot two cops. Um, so they hire the same bikers. Then while Reggie's getting free, Jack tries to convince him to help him, but Reggie refuses. Gets into an argument with Nick. Walks off while on the bus. I do like the little moments where like he's singing. He's singing like kind of like a callback to the first one where he's singing like a Michael Jackson song on the bus, and you could tell the guy's like, "You're not a good singer." It's a funny little thing. Then then these bikers show up, shoot. Um, they shoot the bus and attack the bus while Jack at a diner gets shot by one of the bikers. They shoot the bus down, but Reggie ends up, I think, fine. I don't think he ends up getting hurt. Um, so Jack basically is now um, forces Reggie to help him because now he's in his custody. So like I do like the dynamic between the two in this movie. So I think that's one of the better aspects of it. Like it's just like I said, it's not as like funny compared to the first one. There's no like scene in like the bar. There is a bar scene or like a club, but it's not as good. Um, but So one of the bikers is revealed to be the brother of Gans, from the first movie. So I guess it's partially a revenge story, which I guess works. Then I think then they go to Jack and Eddie. I'm just gonna say their names. Nick and Eddie go to a bar. This time it's like a black bar. They kind of did the opposite, like in the first one it was like this redneck bar, so they're like, we're gonna go to a black bar now. While Reggie is seemingly about to hook up with this girl. Turns out the girl tries to kill him, but he takes her down. While Jack gets information about the bikers from the bartender. Then Jack gets into some trouble with some of the people at the club. We get this kind of elaborate fight scene, which I'll admit was pretty fun. Then Reggie gets the gun, to kind of like tell everyone to stop. So they get their information, they leave the bar. And then throughout the film, basically, when they get close to a lead, that lead gets killed. Then throughout the film, Reggie owes this guy in prison money because they made like a deal in prison. So, and then while this happens, Reggie and Nick get into an argument. I don't remember what it was over. I think it was because it turns out he lost the money or something. So Reggie walks off. While this happens, they find out the bikers are staying at this like Asian hotel. Then it turns out Reggie and Jack meet there. Then they go and break in, and we get this shootout. Fun little shootout. And then the bikers get away, and they interrogate I think because they were sleeping with like this girl, and they get some information from the girl. While this happens, the prisoner that Reggie owes money to, they ask some questions. It turns out the prisoner has a lot of information, gives him some, and then he tells Reggie to keep his word. So like, I do like this movie. It's just not as strong as the first. I think that's gonna be the theme throughout this movie. It's not as strong as the first one, but it's definitely a watchable movie. So then he meets his daughter, who's played by what is her name? Tisha Campbell, who you might recognize from Martin and Everybody Hates Chris. She's that guy's daughter. But then they get kidnapped by the bikers. Um, and then there's a part of the film where Reggie tells Cates that the Iceman might be a cop because he knew too much, and it just makes sense. And then so they get kidnapped and they meet at this bar. And it turns out Ben Cahoe, because he thought it was somebody. He thought it was the guy who was hounding him the whole time about the investigation. He thought that guy was the Iceman, but it turns out it was his friend the whole time. And then we get this big shootout, pretty fun little scene. Then Reggie ends up killing one of the bikers. I think like punching him out of the building. Pretty brutal, honestly. Then kind of like a little callback to the ending of the first one, where this time Jack actually shoots Reggie, and then Jack shoots Ben to shit, and then the two kind of share a laugh. So it's a nice little fun movie. Like, I would give this film, I gave the first one like a 9 out of 10. I would give this one like a 7. It's entertaining. You have some fun shootout moments. I like the dynamic between Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. I think they do good in this one. It's definitely a lot better in the first, but I do like it in this one. And this one is more of a straightforward story, whereas that first one was a bit like more comedic, whereas this one isn't as much, besides some of the scenes with Eddie. The villains were okay. They were just your basic bikers, kind of. And it's definitely rewatchable. I would say watch it, but it's fine if you don't. This is one of those, like, you can watch it or you don't have to. So, but yeah, definitely an okay movie. So... But yeah, but other than that, later tonight, or not tonight, it'll probably be during the day. I will be reviewing The Golden Child. I'll probably watch it. I'll probably get ready to watch that movie in like an hour or so, and then I'll put that on, and then after that I'll review it. And then tomorrow we're gonna review Rambo, and I can't wait to do that because Rambo, especially that first one, is such such a phenomenal action film. It's probably, I can see people who have said that that's one of the best. I know for me it's Die Hard, but I can understand people who say Rambo is like the best action movie. So I'll be reviewing that tomorrow. But later, Golden Child. I have been having fun reviewing these Eddie Murphy movies, man. Eddie Murphy in his prime in the 80s was just so good. So I would definitely recommend this movie. It's not as strong as the first one, but it's a decent watch just for the dynamic between Nolte and Eddie. So, but other than that, fuck Warner Brothers, fuck Disney, fuck LaBitch James, fuck Kaepernick, fuck Joy Reid, fuck Kevin Smith, and fuck Joe Biden. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.